when trying to debunk the chemtrail conspiracy, they love to say, people that are trying to debunk chemtrails love to say that contrails, that what you're seeing in the sky are just jet engine contrails, and that there's, nothing suspicious about it. It's completely normal, and the exhaust from the planes, mixed with the temperatures of the atmosphere can create ice particles and create, you know um, uh, these trails that just linger in our skies, and that is completely incorrect. I'm going to debunk that theory of them trying to say that all these chemtrails are just contrails, because there is a difference between chemtrails and contrails, and I don't care what any scientist says, or I don't care what any news channel says, or expert says, because this is something that I'm also very passionate about, because I have experienced this and have seen this and have memorized this in my memory for over 20 years, and I've experienced it on more than one occasion. So I know for a fact that I'm not crazy. So, like I said, probably around 20 years ago, I remember looking up into the sky and seeing planes fly. And I remember seeing jet engines all the time. And the area that I lived in at the time, uh, when jets flew by or planes flew by, they were always flying the flight path or whatever where I lived. We got a lot of planes in the sky, and we'd always see them, and they'd always, some would be really high up and you could barely even hear them, and then other ones would be really low and you could hear them roar, and the whole thing. But my point is that I would always see planes fly, and you would see the real contrails, because contrails, there are contrails and then there are chemtrails. But what they're doing is they're normalizing chemtrails, and then they're trying to say that all chemtrails that you're seeing are just contrails, and they're normalizing that so that you can't distinguish the difference. But trust me, if you ever seen a real contrail, they're actually more rare now than chemtrails, because chemtrails are just everywhere. A real contrail, you'll see the plane or jet or whatever flying, and you'll see the contrail behind it. And since it's dissipating as it's going, there'll be a slight trail behind the object of the contrail, and as the thing moves, the trail moves with it, because it's dissipating as it's moving. So it literally is almost vanishing instantaneously. Um, it might linger for 5 seconds to a minute, and that's why you see it behind it, and as it's going across the sky, it follows it, because as it's moving, there's only a certain amount of it lingering, and then it's dissipating in real time within probably less than 60 seconds. And that is very different than a chemtrail. What I just explained was an actual contrail. A chemtrail is when you don't even see the plane anymore, and there's just a line of its exhaust, and that's not normal, and it never was.